Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. Last night I saw a great series on Netflix. I saw a couple of episodes of Luke Cage, and I'm going to do a brief review about that now. It is great to see a black superhero. I remember growing up, it was rare to see a black hero. There were a couple of comic books with black heroes. Luke Cage was one of the heroes. But Luke Cage didn't receive the same level of attention as a Superman or Batman or Spider-Man or any of these white superheroes. So he was on the margins. But it's great to see a black hero like him put at the forefront, given a show. And we need to see more of this because for too often, many of our young black men have been raised in a situation where they're looking up to a white man as a hero. Much like how um, religion has taught many of our people to worship and idolize white people through a white Messiah, white Jesus, and all that kind of stuff. The comic books teach young people to look up to white people as heroes. So it's great to see a series like this where there's a black hero. Even though this is not catered to children, it is still great to see a hero who's black. And not only black, a dark-skinned black man as a hero. It kind of reminds me of the days of Shaft. You know, Shaft was a hero, a black detective who projected like a powerful image of what it means to be a man. And this image of strong black manhood is great in a time when black men are being effeminized, when the effeminate black male is being celebrated, when you have black men wearing dresses and they're perceived as being great among the youth. A lot of young people look up to people like a young thug, a man who wears a damn dress. So it's great to see an actual masculine black man as a hero. And it's great to see um, a, a reversal in roles because what has happened in a lot of the media, both in the music and in the movies, the drug dealer has been presented as the hero. The pimp has been presented as the hero. And this started around the time of the black exploitation movies in the 70s, where they made the pimp into a hero, where they made drug dealers into heroes, like you had Superfly and you had the Mac and all that kind of stuff. And that whole negative trend continues today when you have music that celebrates the gangster lifestyle, that celebrates drug dealing and killing and pimping and exploitation of black women. So it's great to see someone as a hero that's challenging and fighting against criminals and gangsters and all that kind of stuff. And that's what Luke Cage does in this series. At first, he's reluctant to take on his responsibilities as a man of power. This brother has superpowers. He's invincible. He's bulletproof. He's super strong. And that's as a result of some experiments that were done to him while he was in prison. Uh, he was wrongly convicted, according to the story. And while he was there, they conducted experiments on him to make him this way, to make him super strong and bulletproof and all that kind of stuff. And the whole thing about experiments on a prisoner, you know, it speaks to a lot of history. It speaks to the history of the Tuskegee experiment when African Americans were uh, supposedly treated with syphilis and they were allowed to spread the disease and just suffer with the disease. So there's a whole tradition in this country of black people and other marginalized people being experimented on. And this story brings attention to that type of issue. And I'm really looking forward to seeing more about his origin, how he got his superpowers. I hope that they have flashbacks where they show him in prison and show the process and all that stuff. But, you know, it's just great to see this black man actually fighting crime in the community, fighting against political corruption. And this also deals with politics, like how a lot of these politicians manipulate the people by using catchphrases, by using the slogans of the day. When these people are crooked, when these people are in bed with the criminals and all that kind of stuff. And this series, Luke Cage, deals with that. It deals with a phony politician who is exploiting the people for political power. And that politician is played by Alfre Woodard. She's a legendary actress. She brings a lot to the table. So this is great. I'm really looking forward to watching this series. And I also want to say I like the cinematography in the movie. It's great. The cinematography is awesome. The costumes and everything are real stylish. It has a slick, professional, sharp edge to it. It's great. I like the references to hip hop as well. If any of you have checked out this channel, you know I'm a big fan of hip hop. So they have images of Biggie in this series. There's a portrait of Biggie, and there's some great cinematography dealing with that. So I encourage you all to check it out on Netflix. It's a great series. I look forward to watching more and more episodes. I want to see how this story pans out. And one thing that I really like is that they have a lot of just beautiful images of Black people. It takes place in Harlem, and they talk about the history of Harlem briefly, like how Harlem was the epicenter of the Black Renaissance. Uh, you had great leaders like Malcolm X, who emerged from Harlem. You had the great poets, Langston Hughes and others of the Harlem Renaissance. Great history. The history of Marcus Garvey and W.E.B. Du Bois. You had all this greatness that came out of this city of Harlem, and they kind of tap into that in this series. So I hope you all check it out. I wonder what you think. If you've seen it, tell me what you think about it. So please rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace. Oh, and before I go, I want to bring up one other reference to hip hop that's used in this Netflix series. And that's this. Every single title of every episode in this Luke Cage series is named after a Gangstar song. So that's another shout out to hip hop in this Netflix series. And, that's another reason to love the series. Also, they deal with the question of the N word. If you go to any hood in America, you're going to hear people using the N word constantly. That's just the language of the streets, unfortunately. But in this um, Netflix series, the brother Luke Cage basically says that he's not a nigger and don't refer to him as a nigger. Um, I like that moment in the series. I think that's a great and powerful moment. And rarely do you hear stuff like that in any kind of movies. Like I haven't heard a character say, "Don't refer to me as a nigger" when talking to another African American character. I haven't seen that happen. I haven't seen people address the use of the N word in any kind of black film. In these black films, it's just accepted that that's the language that people use. So I think that that's another powerful moment in this series. So much respect um, to this series, for including a dialogue on that issue. So I really, again, look forward to watching the rest of these episodes. Peace.